Hello, friend. You know this in German?
I feel like there are two different type of head coaches. One is, it's called like the CEO type, delegating, like you have, I don't know, the Kaitel and all those guys, like doing their stuff. And there's the guy that's like micromanaging and making every single decision.
That's
Where
right.
do you fall under?
Which kind of slows down the decision-making process. So for me, we brought in 17 new coaches, and I have to have faith that I have made good choices there. And so if I'm bringing these guys in, it doesn't make sense for me to micromanage them because they still, look, they aspire to be, coordinators and head coaches as well. And I want those guys to grow. So from my perspective, it's about developing not only the players, but also the coaches and giving them opportunities to really take their role by the horns and develop their room.
So what is your philosophy on just leadership? Itself. Obviously, you just talked about like how you approach it as a head coach, but what do you expect? Like it's a lot of new faces. I mean, really, offense, defense, players, coaches. I mean, it's really a transition period. Like, what do you expect from all levels of your team?
Yeah, I'm a huge believer that, look, leadership. Some people you can say are born with it, but you still got to work at it. And I do believe that, we have guys that have high potential to be a good leader for this football team. Like honestly, hopefully, you always want your quarterback to be a good leader, your center to be a good leader, linebacker, but it doesn't always work out that way. One thing about leadership though, which I've said this time and time again, it's not about me moving pieces on a chessboard. It's more about gardening. Like I just got to make sure I plant these seeds in good soil, make sure I water them every day, make sure there are no weeds in the soil, and give them the opportunity to really grow and develop. And whatever happens from a leadership perspective, it happens. Or from a player developmental, same thing with our kids. So even I know we're working with grown men, but even with our kids, like I'm not a carpenter parent. Like you always see those parents hammer. You got to be this way. No, from my perspective, I just want to make sure that I give you the tools to go out there and get stuff done and be able to manage yourself in a productive fashion.
So obviously OTAs, first time the team is getting together, and from a player perspective, it's bittersweet, right? You can't be physical. You're not supposed to be physical. You try, obviously, you're trying to make a point, and offensive D-line, they're trying to get at each other. But you're happy so far what you see. Obviously, it's a long road and all that. But first day.
Absolutely. I think the first day went great. We talk about being competitive without being combative. And you're exactly right. That O-line, D-line, just that mentality. Sometimes you just got to pump the brakes.
Well, switching the topic here. So obviously, you went to. The Patriots went to Germany last week, right? Last year. Obviously, you weren't the head coach then yet, but so how was the experience like? What did you feel about the German fans? How did you get, perceived? Do you have any things that stuck out?
Honestly, I was surprised by how much they actually knew about football. And I don't know if you guys kind of set it up that way, but from an educational standpoint, I know it's a different football. They actually understood what was going on. I've been other places where they had no clue. It's like a false start penalty and the crowd's going crazy. But, I thought it was great, and I thought, the NFL and I thought the people there were fantastic, welcoming, and honestly tried to get out into the town a little bit and bounce around. It was just a great experience for me.
Awesome. So we're playing in London this year. Obviously it's far away, but looking forward to that. Anything what you expect there? How do you get your team ready?
Look, and going back to what you just said, when we went 09, 10, whatever year we went, I bet they're more educated about our sport as well. So I already know the fans are going to be turned up at the right time. Jacksonville, they play a couple games there, so it's probably a home game for them. At the same time, look, I'm ready to do it. I feel like our support staff, all those guys, but the NFL is still holding our hand kind of on these international games. I feel confident that we'll be able to go out there and perform well.
And lastly, it's anything you want, obviously it's a lot of German fans. What can they expect? Again, transition period. What type of team are you building? What's the character? What's the New England Patriots like?
Look, we'll be competitive. We compete in everything we do, and at the same time, we understand you got to be tough, smart, and dependable on a down after down basis. What I can promise you is you'll see guys flying around on special teams, offense and defense, and really embracing the process. Obviously, the outcome is always the most important thing. But we're going to set a standard, or I should say reset the standard for the New England Patriots this year and going forward.
Love it.
Thanks, bro.